is the... Welcome to Raw is Jericho!
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Listen up, you blind slapnut. If I can be serious for a minute.
This is the Flex Network. This is the Flex Network. Flex on them. Flex on everybody.
The real reason I'm here tonight is because we are live!
We Flex are NXT.
It's your time, folks!
Sweet! A little bit of the bubbly.
The preceding announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
For life.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all the ages in the world, at least here on planet Earth. But it is that time of the week again. It is time for the Wrestling Week in Review show here on the Flex Network. Man, oh man, oh man. Have you been feeling the heat recently? Recently, literally, the heat has been going up in here because just dang. The fact that it's SummerSlam weekend, it is TakeOver weekend, and it's almost the end of August. Crud. I can't believe it's already almost the end of August here. But dang, just a lot of things going on. But before we get any further than what we need to, you know how we do this every single week here that we do this show. And you know how we do it because we are live. Yeah. We are live. It is August 20th, 2020. And the countdown is on, people. The countdown is on to this weekend SummerSlam and NXT TakeOver 30. That's right. TakeOver 30 is coming this weekend, and it's going to be lit like a hot summer night. It's going to be blazing. And I cannot wait. We are going to talk what's going down this Saturday, this Sunday, everything that's leading up to this weekend is going to be off the chain. So go out and catch you some of this TakeOver SummerSlam weekend here in the month of August. But we got some news. We got some stuff we got to talk about because there has been a lot, and I mean a lot of news-worthy stuff going on in the world, but at least in the wrestling world. So let's get down to it, as this was a week worth of news right here that things have been going on. But to kick it off, the shocking news that Renee Young has officially given her notice to WWE. I'm going to cry a little bit because, dude, Renee Young leaving WWE, that I would have never seen coming. Million years. Fan favorite. Everyone loves her. She's one of the best female reporters, female broadcasts, pretty much anything going in WWE. She's one of the fan favorites, bar none. Been here since 2012, from NXT all the way up. First female announcer at Raw at the desk. That was awesome. And damn, it's just sad that the fact that she's putting in her notice. We don't know the reasons why she's putting in her notice, or why she's leaving, but the rumor is that she is leaving after Sunday. She will be done with SummerSlam starting this coming week. So this will be her last Raw for right now. We don't know if she'll be coming back, if maybe down the line, but right now she is leaving the company, which is sad. We will all miss her here. Flex Network. She was fun. I loved her. It was, we all loved her. It was fun. It sucks. Though I'm pretty sure she will get many, many offers, especially maybe even over at AEW where her husband is. So she's been busy. Cookbook. I mean, granted, it didn't really help that FS1 decided to 86 backstage on FS1. So, I mean, granted, with this damn pandemic, so that's another, add another to the list of things that the coronavirus has fucked up in this world. So, yeah, just a lot of crazy things. But on a high note, we'll move on from that. If you watched this past week on Raw, you heard that WWE was going to be introducing something brand new. And the reason why they're introducing something brand new is because WWE is moving on up. And they're moving on over to the Amway Center. They have moved out of the Performance Center for their TV tapings for Raw and SmackDown and their pay-per-views starting tomorrow night on SmackDown, which we're going to talk about a little bit. SmackDown, Raw, and the pay-per-views are now going to be moved over to the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida. And at least through the end of October, where the Orlando Magic call home. And of course, starting this weekend with SmackDown SummerSlam, they've introduced the Thunderdome. Yeah, you heard me right. I said the Thunderdome. And the first thing that, I'm pretty sure we're going to be hearing off of Michael Cole come this Friday, tomorrow night, we're going to be hearing some along the lines of, hold on, I got to add that part back in. But we're going to hear something to the degree of,
welcome to Thunderdome.
It's going to be fun. I cannot wait for Thunderdome. Basically, Thunderdome is going to be an avenue to bring the fans back into the arena through virtual experience with their computers, with their web cameras. They're going to have drones, lasers, pyro, smoke, and projections that will be utilized. It will make the wrestlers' entrance better than WrestleMania. That's a quote. They can now do things production-wise that they couldn't have never done otherwise with everything going on. They have installed nearly 1,000 rows of LED boards in the Amway Center to allow for rows and rows and rows of virtual fans who can register for a virtual seat. The arena audio will also be mixed with that of the virtual fans so that chants from the fans can be heard. Fans can go to WWEThunderdome.com or at WWE's Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter pages to register to be on the show, to be one of the fans in the Thunderdome. Unfortunately, for this week, for tomorrow night, SmackDown has been locked up and booked up, so you cannot get a seat. You're going to have to watch it on TV like everyone else. But SummerSlam has not yet been registered, so people can still have the opportunity to register for for SummerSlam this coming week and the following Raw once they open those up. I will double check, make sure that just to see on my end. But yep, right now it's just stuck on SmackDown for registration. They haven't moved it over yet, so Be sure to check out that stuff when it does happen. After probably check after SmackDown goes off the air. Check to make sure you can log in and sign up to be a part of the Thunderdome for SummerSlam this week. NXT takeovers and NXT in general will still be at Full Sail. And of course, with the travel, with WWE not being able to travel and go to every other state, for the last several months, WWE has saved a lot of money with this travel. So the virus has allowed this introduction of the Thunderdome to be funded and to get a very good price at the Amway Center. This was, was a good idea to be able to move SmackDown, Raw, and the pay-per-views, at least for the next 3 months. SummerSlam Payback, which is going to be happening next Sunday, the week after SummerSlam, which is I don't know why, but they need to book that close after SummerSlam. Granted, hearing stuff about that, and then of course the month of September, and then October, hopefully for Hell in a Cell. Just thinking outside the box, but again, a lot of money has been saved with WWE not being able to travel and go around the country, and even up to Canada and everywhere else. What they would have done had this virus not been in play. So that is some good ideas. We're gonna have fans sign up, and of course they have to abide by WWE's rules, where you cannot be promoting other brands. You cannot, it has to be respectful. You can't be just, saying and doing stupid stuff. Otherwise, they'll boot you and they'll bang you. So just follow the rules that they ask, and it should be all good. And make sure you guys have a camera and a webcam and good internet. That's all I can say. Moving on to that, also good news from today. AEW fans can return to the arena starting with next week's show, next Thursday show, with limited capacity at Daly's Place Amphitheater. Tickets are being sold right now or within the next couple days, and it will only accommodate 10 to 15% capacity starting with next week's show, next Thursday show. For the first ticketed show on the 27th, a maximum crowd of 10% will be allowed. The 10% capacity of the amphitheater will be permitted. From there, as long as things go smoothly and the safety guidelines are followed, they will increase the weekly capacity to 15%. So that is good. So AEW fans are going to be allowed to come back. You'll be able to see and hear them more at the shows for the foreseeable future, starting with next week's show. Because if you remember, last night, if you were trying to look and see, where's my AEW? Where's my wrestling? I mean, I got basketball playoffs going on here on TNT. Remember, they have moved their show for this week's episode of Dynamite to this Saturday on the 22nd on TakeOver Saturday. So go make sure it'll be at 3 p.m. Pacific, so it'll be an hour before TakeOver, gets starting up, so be able to check that out. And we'll talk more about what's probably going to happen on this coming week's show for AEW in a little while. Other news that we're hearing. Apparently over the weekend, someone we're just going to call a sicko fan decided that they were going to try to attempt to kidnap, hold hostage one Sonya Deville over the weekend. While, the sicko fan attempted to break into her home and hold her hostage while she had a guest by the name of Mandy Rhodes over in her house. He had been planning to kidnap planning this kidnapping attempt for 8 months. He had a knife, plastic zip ties, duct tape, and mace on him at the time of his arrest. when this happened. He has been charged with aggravated stalking, armed burglary of a dwelling, attempted armed kidnapping, and criminal mischief. So apparently, the reports is that the suspect decided, the sicko fan, cut a hole in Sonia's screen door around midnight to gain access to her porch. He remained there while apparently Mandy and Sonia were watching the UFC fight on pay-per-view. And then he attempted to enter her home through a sliding glass door early in the morning. This triggered the alarm system. Sonia called the cops, got a little confrontational right there. Called the cops. They came, and he's been arrested. So while I'm in this, we're going to get off the news for a quick skosh because I'm going to have real talk right here. Just some literal real talk with you guys. Let me just bring this up for you guys. But yeah, this is going to be real talk for the moment. I understand out there that, and I'm one of them, that everyone has their favorites. Favorite wrestler, man or female. If you're, a woman that has a favorite male wrestler, and you like them, you want to meet them, you want to get their autographs, you want to take pictures, you follow them on social media, you like their photos, you like their videos, whatever. I mean, that's all cool and fun. That's not harmful. But I feel like, and this is straight shooting real talk right here, that when it gets to the point where you are constantly thinking about that superstar or any celebrity or someone famous that you think that you idolize or you want to be with, when it gets to the point of they're on your mind 24/7, that you want to find their home address, you want to stalk them, you want to follow them around the airport, follow them around town, just want to get to that point where it's no longer a fan just being a fan and asking for an autograph or getting a photo, that kind of stuff. Once it gets to the point of stalking, then I feel like, and I'm pretty sure everyone else will say, that's when you need to be like, you need to stop right there. Because if you're crossing into stalker territory, then not only are you going to be looking bad, then people around you who are, obviously, if you're talking about this person constantly on, a daily basis and just bringing them up conversations, like, dude, you need to stop, man, because this is now getting on the borderlines of, creepy, problematic. And if you're going to be that person that's constantly tweeting at this person, sending them messages, sending them photos, stuff like that, and it gets to that point where you're planning on doing something stupid and potentially hurt, the person of your interest, then that's literally where you need to get professional help. You need to get help, because obviously you're about that close away from hurting someone, hurting yourself, getting in serious trouble, legal trouble, to the point where you're going to get a restraining order because you're going to be looking like the creep here. It's just not going to look good for you. So again, guys, I think it's awesome that we all have our favorite wrestlers. We have our or our favorite celebrities, whatever the case. But on the real, guys, it's like, obviously, unless you have just ran into them unannounced, in a random universe, you just randomly bump into them. You guys meet, you guys have a conversation, and you guys become friends, like actual real life friends. You don't need to be stalking these people on every social media platform. You don't need to be following them everywhere they go. You don't need to be having this planning process of, oh, I'm going to kidnap this person, and we're gonna have a talk, and we're gonna have all these conversations. Guys, it's not going to happen. Okay, it's not going to happen. So it's one thing, guys, to be a fan, to follow, like, and follow them on social media and on their YouTube channels, whatever. That's one thing. Send them a nice, encouraging message every, tweet every now and then, or just something on them that says, "Hey, I like what you're doing. You're cool," or like what they're saying on Facebook or Twitter, whatever. That's cool, but you don't need to get into the territory that this sicko fan did over the weekend and try to kidnap slash probably do worse things to Sonya Deville. You don't need to be getting to that point. So that's just my real talk with you guys. I'm pretty sure there have been other times where you've seen or even heard about this stuff, but I just need to get that out there after hearing about this incident over the weekend. I was like, really? You really thought this was going to work out? Stupid. Just a stupid person. But yeah, let's just get back into the news report and everything with that. Velveteen Dream, as obvious as last week, you guys saw him return for the triple threat match to NXT. He has been, I want to say, cleared, at least through WWE's eyes, with the accusations of the sexual misconduct allegations that were happening, with the hashtag what was it? The hashtag Me Too movement, I believe it was. It's like several weeks ago. I have to go back through my notes and find it. But nope, not that one. That was car crash. But yeah, Velveteen Dream's been off TV, because of he was in a car crash back in the month. Back in June/July, end of June. So he's been off TV for that. Actually, it was the hashtag Speak Out movement that was going on with the wrestlers who were getting ousted because of sexual misconduct, stuff like that. But apparently, according to WWE, Dream has been cleared. He's good. He's back on TV, because he is healed up from his injuries from the car crash from a couple months ago. So Dream is good to go. So if you've been seeing the last 2 weeks, he's back, getting back into his groove again on NXT TV. Rumors are going around that WWE is considering reviving Talking Smack later this month. Granted, we got the last 2 weeks left, but still, just they're thinking of bringing it back. Granted, it's not going to have Renee Young, which would have been awesome, but again, just rumors. With only 2 weeks left to go in the month of August, or actually a week left in the month of August, truth be told, it should be take with a grain of salt, just an idea. But also that WWE has filed trademark rights, refiled them for Saturday night's main event. So that is, awesome to see. Hopefully we can WWE can bring back that brand, that show, hopefully on NBC. That would be cool to bring back Saturday night's main event. From back in the 80s. It was awesome. You can go back and check it out on the network. There was even even brought back recently in 2007, 2006, 7, 8, I want to say, for a short little time. Let me just trying to find it off the draw. Yeah, they were from 85 to 88, and then there was 06. Sorry, it was brought back in 06, and they had Saturday Night's Main Event had good moments on there, some great moments, and then of course when it brought back, it was to help build up for WrestleMania 22. Yeah, it was for WrestleMania 22, and then of course they had for like what 2, 4. They had five different Saturday Night main events in between 2006 and 2008. So it was okay, but then they got rid of it, quietly. So hopefully they'll do something with that. And then, of course, over the week, AEW quietly released 3 superstars on their roster: Jimmy Havoc, Presley, and Sadie Gibbs. Havoc was released after his name came up in the hashtag Speak Out movement, while both Presley and Gibbs were primarily released because they could not travel to the U.S. for their show. So they are unfortunately those two were removed because of the virus and the fact that they couldn't come. So hopefully they'll be back once once the restrictions have been lifted and somewhat the virus has been under our thumb. A couple more things, last little things. Marcus Buff Bagwell. Everybody knows him as Buff the Stuff from back in WCW. He is hospitalized earlier this week with a serious after a serious collision in Cobb County, Georgia, while he was driving his 2013 Chevy Tahoe. This past Sunday, he apparently investigators believed he was impaired by prescription medication at the time of the incident. He had lost control while going through a curve. He collided with the center median and then the fence on that median. And then he collided with a curb before crashing into a freestanding restroom at the Cobb County Transit bus station. He is hospitalized with serious injuries right now. So hopefully he, gets well soon, gets, the help that he needs with this crash. So rest up there, Buff the Stuff. And then, of course, last little thing, WWE still has some interest in former UFC heavyweight champion of the world, recently retired Daniel Cormier. I cannot say his name. I can't. Cormier. I want to say that. Fox would love to bring him on as part of the SmackDown announce team. They were in talks back last year, but nothing came of it. Nothing ever came of it because of granted he was offered a spot on Backstage before FS1 86 the show. So we don't know what's going to be happening with him and WWE. Hopefully it will be something interesting. Though Daniel has sparked some interest, hey, maybe I'll show up for a Royal, maybe put me in the Royal Rumble. Would love to clothesline someone out and then just get taken out by myself, just get taken out. That would have been, very interesting. But that is what's going to be happening in the news. A lot of news stuff going on this week. Hopefully, it'll cool down a little bit heading into next week. But other than that, let's get into what has been going on in the world of wrestling. So, for everyone out there, this is, let me get this up here. So, for anyone out there who has not watched any shows this past week, this is your warning. Your Ric Flair warning.
Woo! Woo!
That this will be spoiler alert time. So if you've not watched anything, you're still here, and you probably might want to cover your ears or skip this over later when you rewatch this or re-listen to this on your podcast. So let's talk about what went down this past week on the Blue Show, SmackDown. Man, let's talk what happened this past week on SmackDown. We had ourselves a triple branded, sorry, cannot get it right. A tri-branded battle royal to determine the number one contender for Bayley's SmackDown Women's title at SummerSlam. We had women from Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and the shocking surprise, while Bayley and Sasha and Bayley were announced, doing some ring announcing, introducing their opponents, is that we had Asuka coming on in to participate in this battle royal. It was some good action. It was some great action with these women. A lot of, interesting, points of who could it be to get an opportunity for the SmackDown Women's title. You had Tegan Nox. You had Sonya Deville, or actually, no, not Sonya Deville was in there. You had Naomi. You had Lacey Evans. You had Shayna Baszler. You had just a plethora of women in that battle royal, and it was good. I loved it. But unfortunately for Bayley, she's now going to have to defend the women's title against Asuka. That's right. Asuka is pulling double duty this Sunday at SummerSlam. She's going to be competing for not one women's title, but she's going to be competing for both women's titles, the Raw and the SmackDown women's titles, this coming Sunday, baby, at SummerSlam. We'll run down the SummerSlam card in a quick little bit. Sheamus taking on Shorty G in a match. It was an okay match. Sheamus picking up the victory over Shorty G. Retribution, literally to kick off the night, attacked Big E and John Morrison right as they're about to start their match in the ring. They came out and just caused chaos and attacked Big E and John Morrison to get run off by the rest of the locker room. So that match was pushed to later, at the end of the night. Gran Metalik taking on Shinsuke Nakamura in a one-on-one match. Gran Metalik picks up the victory over Shinsuke. And shockingly, we got to see Kalisto coming on back, and now the Lucha House Party is full again. The three men are back together again, and Kalisto, he buffed up a little bit. He buffed up, so he looking good. Hopefully, Lucha House Party can get the SmackDown Tag Team titles off of Shinsuke and Cesaro. And then, of course, main event time. Big E taking on John Morrison from earlier in the night. It was to kick off the show, but because of Retribution attacking, Big E picks up the victory on Mr. Morrison. And then, of course, Bray Wyatt / The Fiend. This is getting crazy. You had Braun Strowman calling out The Fiend, wanting him. Alexa Bliss trying to smack some sense into her friend. Team Little Bliss right here. Team Bliss right here. Team Big Bliss right here. It was just crazy to see the fact that you had this new monster, bald head, the monster beard, and then Alexa slapping some sense, and geez, she put some emphasis on them slaps. Like she was slapping someone that's just owed her money. It's like, you better pay me my money. And you just got the right across the face several times, and it was damn good. Literally just damn good smacks. But unfortunately for Miss Bliss, she gets the gorilla press attack. She just gets picked up. And damn, unfortunately, she just gets press land as the lights turn black. Out comes the Fiend to replace where Braun was. And the Fiend just... and Braun on the Titantron just laughing like a hysterical crazy man. Kind of pulling off the switch here of Braun's crazy, the Fiend's not. it's just going to be very interesting come Sunday at SummerSlam. Literally cannot wait. But that was SmackDown for you guys this past week. Let's quickly head on over to the Red Brand. Let's head on over and talk about that Monday Night Raw. And my boy Michael wants to talk, the world wants to hear about Patty Mac. Good God, Raw's just been getting interesting. Raw has just been getting more and more interesting. I mean, I swear they've been picking it up. Raw and SmackDown's been picking it up now recently. I got a feel for that. I'm starting to feel that Raw's starting to pick it up a little bit more. SmackDown's picking it up a little bit more. It's again, I've said this many times on this show that the shows go down, they'll come back up, they'll be at an angle for a little bit, they'll be going up and down. So again, it's just depending on what they're doing. I think the Raw and SmackDown are starting to pick it up again. They're going to go up a little bit. They're going to go up, and we're going to get to a high point again for the year. But of course, with the virus, it just messes everything up. But I say this again. Let's talk about Raw. Let's talk about what happened this week. Apollo Crews taking on Shelton Benjamin one-on-one. And the winner gets to pick a stipulation for SummerSlam in the U.S. title match between Apollo and MVP. It was a good match. Okay, gotta give it that. Apollo Crews picks up the victory over Shelton Benjamin, and he made it clear that the Hurt Business is banned from ringside at SummerSlam for the U.S. title match. So MVP is going out on alone for this title match this Sunday. And then immediately following that, MVP challenges Crews, Mustafa Ali, and Ricochet to a 6-man tag later in the night. And after that, like literally, after it was accepted, out comes R-Truth running, with the 24/7 title, and Shelton Benjamin just big boots him. And Shelton Benjamin is once again 24/7 champ. Man, just a lot of craziness in that short little. We got another match added to later in the night, and now we got a new 24/7 champion. Thanks, guys. That was crazy. Angel Garza taking on Ivar of the Viking Raiders one-on-one. That one was okay. It was good. Garza picks up the victory in a good match. Raw Underground, more craziness. It was good. I mean, we got to see Shayna Baszler kicking her buddies kicking ass on there. Members of the 4 Horsewomen of UFC, the UFC's 4 Horsewomen. You got 3 of the 4 right now. I mean, we're missing on Ronda. We got the 4 Horsewomen again. Well, and we've been wanting that match for a long time. Horsewomen versus Horsewomen. The 4 WWE one versus the 4 UFC one. That would have been a great, build up for either SummerSlam or WrestleMania, but granted, we haven't gotten it yet. Of course, the returning Mickie James is back on Raw, makes a return to in-ring competition against Natalya. And while it was not the best thing in the world, it was okay. And we didn't really get to see it because of all the craziness with Retribution. I mean, granted, they took over the production truck to literally kick off Monday Night Raw. It was crazy. We got to see Mickie James lose via count out to Natalya, the longest reigning women on, the longest reigning woman and the one who's held the most victories and, pay-per-view. She holds a lot of records for wrestling right now on WWE. Tag team match in the another women's tag team match. This time it was Asuka and Shayna Baszler taking on the tag team champs of Bayley and Sasha Banks. And we had some interference with Nia Jax attacking Shayna Baszler through the plexiglass. Knocks it down, knocks it on top of her, and they get into a big old fight that takes them around the building, leaving Asuka all by her lonesome to take on her two opponents for this week's SummerSlam. Eventually, Shayna comes back and makes them tap out as Asuka and Shayna pick up the victory, tapping out Bayley and Sasha on Raw. Asuka getting that momentum heading into this Sunday's SummerSlam event. Peyton Royce and Ruby Riott going on one-on-one again. Peyton picks up the victory over Ruby in a good match. It was good. I'll give it that. Six-man tag. MVP, Shelton Benjamin and Lashley taking on Mustafa Ali, Ricochet, and Apollo Crews. It was a good match. It was a good match. Unfortunately for Mustafa, Ricochet, and Apollo, they do not get the victory, as MVP and Shelton Benjamin and Lashley of the Hurt Business get it done. Rey Mysterio made his return to Raw with his son, succering the boys of Murphy and Seth Rollins with his son's help, with getting some licks in with that kendo stick again, as Seth 86s it and Murphy just gets fed to the wolves with those damn kendo sticks in hand. And then, of course, the main event. Before we had the main event, a video from a few weeks ago showing Zelina poisoning Montez Ford's cup was revealed, and it was not good for Zelina. Saying, I don't know what happened, and there's the proof. Her back turned and it looking like she's messing with the cup a little bit, putting a little extra something that shouldn't be there. Montez taking on Andrade in the main event for this Raw, and unfortunately for Andrade, not good, especially heading into their Raw Tag Team title match this coming weekend. Montez picks it up the victory, gaining momentum for their tag team title match this weekend. HB Shizzle, HBK shows up to Raw, calling it, giving his thoughts on what happened the previous week with Ric Flair getting punted in the head. And, it's always a good thing to see HB Shizzle, HBK in the building anytime. Unfortunately for Mr. the Showstopper, the Hall of Famer, gets the RKO out of nowhere and then gets the punt. Then afterwards, out comes Drew. He gets the RKO. And yeah, it's not getting any prettier for, on the way to SummerSlam, as Orton suckered and got HBK and Drew McIntyre with that RKO. But that is what happened this past week on that Monday Night Raw. Before we head on over to NXT, let's talk a little bit about what's going to be going on in the upcoming week for our friends to the east, the land of the rising sun at New Japan Pro Wrestling. They have about a couple more days left, I want to say, but fan voting for the King of Pro Wrestling 2020 matches is going on right now as we speak. One sec. That is right. With a Twitter fan vote going on. You can vote on Twitter right now on New Japan Pro Wrestling Twitter page. And they are having several matches going to be happening, going down. You can vote for 3 matches, as one of them has already been decreed for this coming next week for their show coming up. Sorry. One of the matches that you can vote on is the Okada Takahashi match. If you want to vote,
Snowman,
oh my gosh.
what is going on, brother?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Godfather himself, the man who has been coming up with what the fuck moments here on the Flex Network.
Whoa, yeah, whoa.
The OG Flex Matt is in the building.
Yes.
What is up, my man? What is up, my brother?
What is going on with you, brother? Hey, I am happy to be back on the cast with you. I just wanted to stop. Good. We just recorded some 5cc Scornucopia promo wars. We just got finished. SummerSlam's coming up, right? What's going on?
Yeah,
is it this weekend?
Yes, it is. It is SummerSlam weekend. We got TakeOver 30, and we got SummerSlam, the biggest party of the summer.
Oh my gosh!
This weekend, and it's gonna. And this year's SummerSlam is going to be inside.
That's
the Thunderdome.
Right. That's a big deal. Having and honestly, the WWE is a conglomerate. Okay, we know that. Okay, but to be the first sports anything to enter into an arena with fans, without fans, they're doing it without fans, but they're going back to the arena. They're really stepping ahead and softly touching their re-entry back into at least maybe a weekly show or so. Now, where's this dome again? Is that in Florida again?
Yes, they are going to be at the Amway Center, home of the Orlando Magic. And this is going to be at least the contract has been, they're going to be through the month of the end of October, because with NBA going to be picking back up their season again once the NBA playoffs get done. So, I mean, that's where the contract is.
Yeah, they wouldn't be picking back up their season,
Well, it'll be in the month of I believe it's December, but for the next season.
Yeah, doubtful. There's no way they do NBA finals and then pick back up in December. That ain't happening. No, the NBA will be gone for a year, but there ain't a damn thing going on at that center right now at all.
Oh no.
And isn't SmackDown tomorrow night going to also be in the arena, the first one?
Yes, it is. And again, for those who are still listening or going to be listening, registration for the Thunderdome for SmackDown is full. So literally, they dropped it out. You can go and register on the WWEThunderdome.com, and you just have to sign up and agree to the rules. But otherwise, yeah, it is full. I've tried, literally, I tried the last 2 days. It's like, oh, sorry, we are full.
You're talking about to be like a virtual fan or something like that.
Like what we're doing right now. Like with a webcam, you can sit there and you'll be watching the show, and you'll be like one of the virtual fans in that's being shown in the Thunderdome live on the show.
Man, I just sneezed. You didn't hear it, but boosh! That was a Corona sneeze. Now, man, I don't have very much more time. I'll let you go to finish your cast out. But tell me, is there going to be an upset? Do you think there's going to be an upset this weekend for SummerSlam? Give me a reason to tune back into wrestling as a fair weather fan. Give me a reason.
I'm going to pick the upset that is going to be. Oh, that's going to be a very tough one. I mean, you got a lot of good matches.
Quickly, I'll tell you, Chris Bay just lost the X Division champion.
Oh, that was shocking on Impact.
So, I mean, they're on their way. They need to do something. They're back in the stadium. They got people. We need to do something. Do you think, is Drew McIntyre losing his belt?
I would think yes, but it's one of those things where
you're thinking yes. You're thinking that Drew's gonna lose it. Who's he wrestling?
He is wrestling that Viper, Randy Orton.
You think he's gonna lose to Randy Orton?
he's been on fire. He's just been knocking down legends with the RKO and the punt. He just punted a HBK this past Monday.
Oh man, that's his MO. Okay, well
Yeah.
you heard it here first. The Snowman says RKO is coming out of nowhere, getting the Drew McIntyre. Anyway, Snow, I love you, man. Have a great podcast. Have a great SummerSlam, and I am going to tune out right now.
Okay, there you guys go. A special appearance by the Godfather himself, Flex Matt on the Shizzo. Man, it was good to talk to him a little bit. Get his little insight in. But before we, actually really talk about what's going down on SummerSlam this week, and let's quickly talk back with what's going on in New Japan in this upcoming fan vote that they're going to be having at their show in the next week. Of course, Okada and Tanahashi, 3-on-1 handicap match for Okada for his choice, or you can vote for a lumberjack match with leather belts. So the lumberjacks will have leather belts with them. You could choose either one of those matches. Sho and Sonata going one-on-one in a submission match. Yano taking on Bushi, and the matches you could select are for Yano. He wants a 2-count pinfall, which means there will not be a 3 count. It'll only be a 2 count. So you get that 1, 2, the match is over. And Bushi wants a 5 count out rule match for ring outs. So if you go on the outside, normally they go on the 20 count. So you get 20 seconds to get back into the ring. Unlike WWE, they do a 10 count. This time around, they are going, if you vote for this one, it will be a 5 count. So once the ref gets to a 5, the match is over on the outside. And then, of course, the last one to vote on is the Satoshi Kojima taking on El Desperado matchup. And the stipulations are for Kojima wants a finishers only match. You can only win the match by hitting your finisher. Or for El Desperado, you can vote for a no finishers allowed. So if you hit your finisher, you are automatically DQ'd. The match is over. So that is some interesting stuff you can go out and vote for in this King of Pro Wrestling match, or qualifying matches right there. The stipulations you can go out and pick. And then, of course, this Friday, on New Japan Strong, the U.S. Kind of the U.S. show, on NewJapanWorld.com, you guys can go and check out the finals of the New Japan Cup USA finals for the number 1 contender for the New Japan U.S. title, Kenta taking on David Finlay. And then, of course, we got Jay White and Chase Owens, Bullet Club right there, taking on Flip Gordon and Brody King in tag team match. And Adrian Quest and Rocky Romero taking on Danny Limelight and the DKC in tag team matching. So that is going to be fun to go check it out. It will happen 7 p.m. on New Japan Pro World, or NJPWorld.com. Go and check that out on New Japan World Strong. So go and check that out, guys. And then, of course, if you were I've been saying this for last week, and if you were trying to check out Dynamite last night, it was not there. Sorry, but your Dynamite fix is going to have to wait until this coming Saturday for you guys, as it was moved thanks to the NBA playoffs going on. So again, a lot of stuff going on. But you could have gone and check out part 1 of AEW's 2019 All Out show on YouTube. Part 2 will air next week on YouTube on Wednesday, of course, at 8 p.m. or 8 Pacific, 7 Central. So 8 p.m. Central. So go and check that out, guys. But next week's show, the August 26th edition, will move to Thursday. So it'll be right around this time. So we're not going to be talking about AEW for the next, we'll talk what happened last week or this coming week's show next week, but we won't talk about this coming week's show on the AEW show. It'll be kind of a little funky for you guys. But what's going to be happening this coming week on AEW TV, as soon as I can, get my notes up about this. If I don't even think, so we're going to have an 8-man tag, Lucha Brothers, the Butcher and the Blade, taking on Jurassic Express and the Natural Nightmares this Saturday. So that should be a good 8-man tag or good tag team match right there with that. Let's see what else. We're going to have a TNT title match going on. Brody Lee challenging Cody for the TNT Championship on the line. That should be good. Darby Allin's going to be in action. He'll be back to get into action. We're also going to have another 6-man tag as the Elite will take on Dark Order's Reynolds, Angel, and Silver. So that should be fun. It will be Kenny, Omega, and the Young Bucks in 6-man tag this coming Saturday. And then, of course, the Women's Tag Team Cup Tournament Finals will be happening. The Nightmare Sisters will take on Ivelisse and Diamante. It should be a damn good show this Saturday before we talk about TakeOver Weekend. But let's actually talk about what's going to happen on NXT this weekend. Let's talk about what happened this past week, the final NXT TakeOver show, as we head into that show. Let's talk about what happened on NXT this past week. Johnny Gargano taking on Ridge Holliday in one of the 2 final North American Championship ladder match qualifiers, a one-on-one action. It was a great match. Very interesting in this one. Johnny Wrestling will be at TakeOver in the ladder match for the North American Ladder Championship match. That should be good. Dakota Kai taking on Jesse Kamiya. One-on-one action. Dakota Kai getting the victory. 6-man tag with Isaiah Swerve Scott, Tyler Breeze, and Fandango taking on Legado de Fantasma. Unfortunately for Breezango and Swerve, they did not get the victory. It was a good match. I'll give it that. It was a good match. I'll probably go and check it out again just to see, feel that excitement again. Shotzi and Rhea taking on Mercedes Martinez and Aaliyah of the Robert Stone brand in women's tag team action. That one was a good match. Rhea deciding to powerbomb Mercedes outside the ring, outside the barrier, and on the floor looking like a dead corpse. Just draw the chalk outline on what happened with Mercedes as Shotzi and Rhea pick up the victory. And then the final ladder match qualifier for this Saturday's North American Championship ladder match. Velveteen Dream taking on the Prince, Finn Balor. And this one had everything. You had all the competitors for the ladder match and a lot of chaos, and Timothy Thatcher costing Finn the match for his opportunity at the second NXT title he would have held. But unfortunately, Velveteen Dream moves on and qualifies. Some newsworthy notes for NXT in the month of September. September 3rd, so literally in 2 weeks, NXT will be moving to Thursday night for NHL playoffs. So AEW will have that Wednesday all to themselves. We don't know if any other NXT shows will be moving with the NHL playoffs going on right now, as it will be going through the month of October. So we don't know what's going to be happening with NXT on the USA Network. But that was what has happened on NXT this past week. Now we can talk about what's going to be happening this coming weekend. It is TakeOver. It is SummerSlam weekend. It's going to be on like neck bone. It's going to be hotter than a scorcher in the month of August. It's going to be hotter than hell, baby. But literally, let's just get into this. We have going down at TakeOver 30. The theme for this year's the theme music, Metallica's Moth into the Flame. It is awesome. Go and check that out. Go and pick that up. It is freaking sweet. The vacant NXT North American Championship ladder match. Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, Cameron Grimes, Johnny Gargano, and Velveteen Dream. How's that for a fivesome right there? That's going to be funner than hell to watch. Women's titles on the line. Dakota Kai challenging Io Shirai for the NXT women's title one-on-one. Keith Lee, Karrion Kross, NXT title is on the line one-on-one. That is going to be the one that steals the show. I guarantee you that'll be one of the matches that steals the show. Adam Cole, Pat McAfee, one-on-one grudge match right here. Hopefully Adam Cole does not get that field goal punt kick again, because if it happens, then Adam Cole's head's going to be hitting Indiana through the uprights. And then on the pre-show, we're going to have a triple threat tag team match to determine number one contenders for the tag team titles. Breezango taking on Oni Larkin, and Danny Butch taking on two members of Legado del Fantasma. So that one should be interesting to kick off TakeOver 30. And then, of course, this was added because of the events of the last night's show on NXT. Finn Balor will take on Timothy Thatcher in one-on-one competition, and that is TakeOver 30. I'm going to actually go through and pick some winners for you. Just feeling how, just pick some winners. Ladder match. I'm going to pick, for some reason, I'm going to pick Damian Priest. The big 7 foot tall monster right there. That literally, he looks like freaking Scott Hall, but he can move, fight like Kevin Nash. That's literally an outsider right there. He can go. I'm going to pick him. So Damian Priest as your new NXT North American champion. Io Shirai. I'm going to say she's going to retain her title. I don't think Dakota Kai is there yet, but maybe that will be my upset, because Dakota Kai has been there for so long. I believe she does deserve it, a chance at the NXT women's title. I believe she deserves a championship. Hopefully this will even lead to maybe a Dakota Kai versus Tegan Nox championship opportunity, and Tegan picks up the victory. Just saying. NXT championship match I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick Keith Lee. He's just too much on fire right now as the champion. Tag team number one contenders match. Breezango. I'm going to pick them. Balor versus Thatcher. I got to pick Finn. You can't go against the Prince. And then, of course, Adam Cole and Pat McAfee. Unfortunately, I believe this might be an Adam Cole match, but for some reason, deep down in the gut, I'm thinking Pat's going to pull something out and probably punt him so far to Indiana that he's going to be literally just on a nice round trip through that goalpost, and it's going to be good. But that is TakeOver 30. But now let's get into SummerSlam Sunday. And it's just going to be hot as hell, because it is going to be very, very good this Sunday. And you guys will never, no one will see it coming this Sunday because SummerSlam is just going to be hot. Like a hot land, Georgia. Gonna be that hot. Raw tag team titles are on the line. Profits taking on Andrade and Angel Garza. U.S. titles on the line. MVP challenging Apollo Crews for the United States title. The Hurt Business is banned from ringside. Dominic Mysterio with his father, Rey Mysterio, taking on Seth Rollins with Murphy in his corner in a street fight. And then Asuka pulling double duty, challenging both Sasha for the Raw Women's title and challenging Bayley for the SmackDown Women's title. So it's going to be a double opportunity for Asuka. If she can either leave as one champion, she can leave as double champion, and then the reign of the double champion goddess, the double champions of Sasha and Bayley, or she can leave as no champion and the reign of Dos Belts, Banks, and Dos Belts, Bayley, literally just continuing to run roughshod on Raw and SmackDown and NXT for defending the tag team titles. Universal titles on the line. Braun Strowman taking on The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, one-on-one. Hopefully we do not get a interference from Alexa or something crazy, but I'm just going to call it. Something crazy is going to happen because you'll never see it coming. Hair versus hair match going down. Mandy Rose taking on Sonya Deville. Loser gets their head shaved bald. This is not going to end well for either one of them. Granted, Mandy just got her hair cut, so she's now the goddess of all soccer moms right now, as it pertains to her shirt that is being sold on WWE Shop. And Sonya, who's just been literally terrorizing Mandy, but more than likely, Sonya is going to lose. Even though no one's going to lose this, no one's going to be a winner in this match. And then, of course, the WWE Championship is on the line. Randy Orton challenging Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. This is going to be a very interesting SummerSlam in the Thunderdome. So let's make some quick picks before we roll on out of here. Profits are going to retain. Actually, yeah, they're going to retain over Andrade and Angel Garza. I don't think they can get it done a little bit. Paulo's going to retain against MVP. Dominic is going to beat Seth Rollins. Actually, no, I'll come back to that one. Mandy's going to win against Sonya in the hair versus hair match. For some reason, I feel like Braun is going to lose the WWE Universal Championship into some crazy reaction, crazy chain of events. Asuka will be a champion. I'm going to call it. She's going to walk out as both the Raw and SmackDown Women's Champions, leaving Banks and Bayley as the Women's Tag Team Champions, even though they're going to be defending those tag team titles 1 week later at Payback. Literally 7 days from SummerSlam is Payback, live on the WWE Network. So, and in the Thunderdome, should be interesting. And then the street fight. I'm going to be picking, for some reason, Seth will probably get the win, but I feel like Dominic will. I'm picking Dominic, but more than likely I'm going to be wrong, and Seth is going to win this match. And then the WWE Championship, I'm picking Orton. Orton's going to beat Drew. For some reason, Drew's had a great run as WWE Champion, but I feel like without the fans to cheer in the arena. His reign has kind of been down, but I feel like once we get this C virus under our thumb and we can have the fans back in the arena, like at full, I'm talking about full capacity, I feel like Drew winning the title will get the biggest pop that we could ask for, that he deserved at WrestleMania this past year. I believe that that is just what is going to be needed. And that, my friends, is SummerSlam weekend for you. That is SummerSlam in general for you. It's gonna be on like neck bone. But yeah, that is it. Gonna be it for me. Before we head out, two quick little things. I did talk about everything that's going on. Yep, that was everything. So, the last couple of weeks, I've been doing this little thing with you guys about spin the wheel. Let's pick a SummerSlam to go down the road. Good for you guys to go and check out. But as I was deciding, going through, and you're like, okay, what do I need to replace? And I saw a tweet. I saw something that generally, if I saw like, oh yeah, a couple years ago, but to remember that exactly 19 years ago today, we had ourselves a very fun and memorable moment on Monday Night Raw with Kurt Angle and some milk. With Milkomania running wild exactly 19 years ago today. So, I hope you guys go and recheck that out on the network or on YouTube. If it'll probably be there. But it was a funny moment. Kurt Angle rolling out on Austin's appreciation night, coming out in a milk cart, tossing milk cartons at the Alliance, bringing out a milk hose and just dousing everyone stone cold, turning Stephanie McMahon from the $1 billion princess into a Dairy Queen. Got milk, but that was a classic moment. But that got me thinking, you know what? I don't need the wheel this week because I'm gonna suggest you guys to go out and check this week on a pay-per-view to rewatch. I'm gonna suggest we talk about SummerSlam 2001. And that one was a damn good pay-per-view. I love that one for SummerSlam. 2001, San Jose, California, where Extreme Rules was supposed to be this year. Home of the Sharks. The theme for this pay-per-view was let the bodies hit the floor. 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 Yeah. Bodies by. Man, that was a great theme by Drowning Pool. Literally, that was so freaking awesome. One of my favorites pay-per-view themes, one of my favorites in history. Literally, could not ask for anything better. That was a freaking great PPV right there for the theme for SummerSlam. Literally, just so awesome. Bodies by Drowning Pool. I could listen to that one again. But the pay-per-view itself, SummerSlam 2001, we're highly rolling in the Invasion storyline. The Rock has come back. Literally, you couldn't ask for a better thing. We had, on Sunday Night Heat, we had Jacqueline, Lita, and Molly Holly, 6-woman tag, taking on Ivory, Stacy Keibler, and Tori Wilson of the Alliance. That was an okay match, for Sunday Night Heat. You kick it off with Edge taking on Lance Storm for the Intercontinental Championship. You had the Dudleys and Test taking on the APA and Spike Dudley. 6-man tag. Jericho and Rhino one-on-one. You had the Cruiserweight and the Light Heavyweight Championship on the line with X-Pac taking on Tajiri. The Hardcore Ladder match with Rob Van Dam and the charismatic enigma Jeff Hardy. A tag team steel cage match for both the WCW and the WWF tag team titles. The Brothers of Destruction taking on who better than Canyon? And it's DDP. Bang! Kurt Angle taking on Stone Cold Steve Austin, WWF Championship. And then, of course, the main event for SummerSlam, Booker T and The Rock for the WCW Championship. That was a hell of a classic pay-per-view you guys need to go out and rewatch before this Sunday, before this Saturday. Heck, go and watch it now. Go watch it on Friday, but go back and watch this classic pay-per-view. Man, it was freaking awesome. But that, my friends, that's going to be the end of this shizzo on this road to SummerSlam weekend here on the Flex Network. And I know, our time's gone. But, of course, I got to go through some normal house, sitting rules. But be sure to follow us on Facebook. Share us, like us, retweet, reshare everything here on the Flex Network. Be sure to follow us on Facebook. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at the Flex Network 1 for your football and fantasy football needs. And for us here on the wrestling side of the world at FlexNet_PW Elite. And then to be sure to like and share our YouTube content. As I have some lovely news for everyone. Next week, I will not be here on YouTube on the Flex Network channel because the Flex Network Wrestling has their own channel now. We will be live on there next week. Starting this coming week, we're going to be on that page. We have our own page now, so be sure to like and subscribe to our page as well. We are at FlexNet Wrestling or Flex Network Wrestling, so be sure to go out and check us out, as our shows and wrestling content will be there for you to check out. But that is going to be it for me and this week's show. Oh, yeah, and be sure to like and subscribe our podcasts where we are at. If we are not, we are on Apple, we are on Spotify. If you are on something else that we do not, currently go to and you want us there, let us know. We will get to that podcast. We will put ourselves on there and we will flex on that. But that is going to be it for me and this week's show. I hope you guys go out and enjoy SummerSlam TakeOver and, of course, AEW Dynamite this Saturday for everyone out there. But that is going to be it for me. So until next week, I am the Snowman, and this has been another week on the Flex Network, and I will see you guys later. Peace out.
This is the Flex Network. This is the Flex Network. Flex on them. Flex on everybody. This right here is the Flex Network. Yeah. Flex on G. Flex.
The preceding announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.